Today we look at two very unique countries that are different by culture and size, but are also separated by a 28-hour drive or over 26,000 kilometers from the capitals of Denmark and Turkey. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to FTD Facts, the channel where we talk about people, cultures, and places from all around the world. Now, I'm Dave Wappel, and today we are going to look at Turkey and we're going to look at Denmark. Now, normally here on the channel, well, first of all, here on the channel, if you guys are big on learning about militaries and learning about cultures and countries, you want to subscribe to this channel because that's what we do here. And if you just like a channel that listens to you guys and, gives videos that you guys suggest, well, this is also the kind of channel that we do. Now, like I was saying, on this channel, we sometimes look at countries that are generally like right beside each other, but for this video, these guys are separated so far apart, and we got to find out what is similar and different about these two great nations. Now, with that in mind, guys, I want to know, what is your favorite thing about your country? Let me know down there in the comment section below, but let's get started, shall we? So let's first start off looking at Denmark. Now, it's got a population of 5,748,769 people, approximately, ranking 12th in the world with a population density of 133 people, 0.9 per square kilometer. Now, as for its land size of Denmark, it gets a little complex because there's many different factors. First of all, for its land size, it's about 42,931 kilometers square, ranking 160th in the world. But if you incorporate Faroe Island, which is 1,393.4 kilometers square, and Greenland, which is 2,166,086 kilometers square, the total land size of everything that Denmark owns equals 2,210,410.4 kilometers square, making it one huge country. It's big, but there's not a lot of people there, so they got a small population density. But moving right along to Turkey, if you were to look at it, its population is a lot bigger with 82,835,090 people. Again, that's just an approximate, but they sit at 16th in the world when it comes to their population size. Now, as for the population density, they have approximately 102 people per square kilometer, ranking 107th. And if you were to put those people on all of its lands, it totals 783,356 kilometers square, ranking 36th in the world, and approximately 1.3% of that is water. Now, when we talk about population, I do want to mention that we also do talk about the militaries of these two countries, but for this video, we aren't going to get into that. If you guys want to, well, I'll put a card right here, right now for you guys to click on. But realistically, you should just wait till the end of the video because I'll also give you a link to that as well. Because right now, let's talk about economy. Well, in Denmark, they use the Danish krone. And comparing that to the US dollar, $1 US equals 6.01 DKK. Now, as for Turkey, they use the Turkish lira, which $1 US equals 3.78 TRYs. Now, if we were to compare 1 TRY, it would equal 1.59 DKK. And now, just because $1 is stronger than the other, it doesn't mean that their economy is better or worse. There's a lot of things to keep in mind, such as GDP. Now, for GDP, we're going to look at the purchasing power parity because that's the best way to compare nations. Now, the PPP GDP of Denmark is $285.468 billion, ranking 52nd in the world. Now, its GDP per capita equals $49,613. And to break that down even further, let's look at imports and exports. What is great about these nations of what they sell and buy. For the exports of Denmark, they sit at $82 billion, being 31st in the world. Now, 3.8% of that is electronic generating sets, 3.2% of that is pig meat, really? And 3.2% of that is also packaged medicaments, whatever the heck those things are. Now, as for its imports, it sits at $83 billion, being 29th in the world, with 4.8% of that being cars, 2.9% being refined petroleum, and 2.8% of that being packaged medicaments as well. But now if we look at Turkey, their imports and exports, their GDP is a lot more. For example, the GDP in Turkey is $2.249 trillion, ranking 13th in the world, with a GDP per capita of $27,634. Now, of the exports, they equal $139 billion, ranking 25th, and the top percentages of those are cars at 6%, gold being 5.9%, and knitted t-shirts being 2.1%. But jumping over to its imports, they equal $188 billion, being 18th in the world, with 5.2% of that being cars, 5.1% of that being unspecified, and 3.9% being refined petroleum. So that's great. We've got GDP, we've got economy, we've got a lot of things. But you know what? Let's keep in mind, sometimes things are just a little bit different. You know, the cost of bread in one country is different from the other. So let's talk about living expenses of these two amazing countries. Now, the cost of living in Turkey from Denmark would mean that food is 59% cheaper, housing is 65% cheaper, clothes are 53% cheaper, transportation is also 38% cheaper, with personal care being 43% and entertainment being 50% cheaper as well. In total, living in Turkey is approximately 53% cheaper than Denmark. Now, of course, you can't have money without looking at debt. Let's take a quick look at that as well. Now, for this, we are going to look at the national debt in US dollars to compare the two. For the national debt of Denmark, it equals $123,287,316,000. And the total debt per citizen equals roughly $21,784. And if you were to take that money and put it into single dollar bills and stack them on top of each other, it would equal 0.04 trips to the moon. Now, as for Turkey in US dollars, they have $230 billion, $790,665,000 in debt. However, per citizen, that equals about $2,881, which is actually the lowest I've seen out of any of the countries that we've compared other countries to. However, in single dollar bills, if you were to stack those on top of each other, it would equal 0.07% of the trip to the moon. So there you have it, guys. That is a look at the two countries, Turkey and Denmark, two countries that are very different from each other in culture and even economy. But we want to know what you thought. But my name is Dave Walpole, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and learning about these two amazing countries. As always, here on the channel, we take recommendations from you guys. Be sure to let us know what you guys want to see in the future. And on top of that, guys, if you want to see more stuff from me, hit me up on Picky Nerds. The link for that is in the description box below. I talk about movies and video games and see how they could be actually improved. And on top of that, at the end screen, we're going to have a link to the military video if you guys want to check that out as well. But other than that, I'm Dave Walpole, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cool? Bye. So awesome, you guys made it to the end of our first video where we talk about Denmark and Turkey. Now, if you guys want to learn more about these amazing countries, well, check out this military video right here because you guys are really going to love it. It's really fascinating to learn what the differences and similarities are between these two great nations. Once again, guys, we do everything here just to educate other countries about other countries and people from around the world. So feel free to hit us up, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.